Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're embarking on, well, quite a fascinating journey, actually, right into the structure of language itself.
Mm,
And understanding these fundamentals, it can really unlock a new appreciation, even for languages that might seem totally different from what you're used to.
absolutely. It changes how you see them.
So, our focus today, our deep dive, is into the fundamental rules of Urdu grammar. We're setting the scene to explore what seems like a really rich and intricate system.
Beautifully complex, yeah.
And our source material for this adventure, it's a document, a pretty detailed one, outlining basic Urdu grammar.
Got it.
Our mission, as always, is to kind of pull out the most important bits, those nuggets of knowledge, maybe some surprising facts too, give you a shortcut, really, to being well-informed without getting bogged down.
Without the textbook feel.
Exactly. I'm genuinely excited to start unpacking the mechanics of Urdu. There's just a real joy in figuring out how a language works,
Definitely. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Every language, it starts with sounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Letters. Before words or sentences, you need those basic building blocks.
The absolute foundation.
So we're diving into the very first components, Urdu's alphabets. They're often called huruf.
Huruf, yes.
And our document says Urdu has 39 letters. That's quite a few.
It's a comprehensive set.
And they're helpfully broken down into three main categories. First up, we have the consonants, huruf isahi.
Right.
These are described as the primary sounds, sort of the backbone. Many are familiar, like eba or eki.
Sounds we might recognize.
Yeah, but Urdu also has these distinct sounds like
Yeah.
it's a harder T, almost like tia, right? Retroflex.
Exactly, that retroflex T. Yeah. And the guttural ka, like the in lost.
Ta, okay. That adds a real richness.
Definitely.
Then we've got the vowels, hiru, ilat. These are the soft sounds, the ones that give words their flow.
The melody of the language.
Yeah, exactly. There are three main ones listed. It's
Ah.
alif, wow, and yay. They seem crucial for the musicality.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely vital.
And then what I find really interesting are the compound letters, huruf-i murakab.
Ah, yes. These are fascinating.
They're not just like, consonant blends in English. They seem to be unique phonetic units.
That's a great way to put it. They function as single sounds.
Right. Formed by combining two letters. The examples given, like ABH, Huesh, and Kiwe, it's like they have this built-in breathiness.
Exactly. That aspiration is part of the sound itself. And phonetically, it's this combination, the consonants, the vowels, and especially these unique compound letters, that creates Urdu's incredible richness.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding them is, well, it's really the key to getting the pronunciation right, to hearing the language properly.
Makes sense. It's the gateway, as you said. So,
Yeah.
okay, we have the letters. They combine to form words, and those words take on different jobs in a sentence.
Take different roles.
Let's build on that then. Moving to the core parts of speech, starting with ism, which is nouns.
Nouns, yes. The naming words.
So a noun, ism, the source just defines it as, the name of a person, place, thing, or idea. Pretty standard.
The who, what, where.
Exactly. And the document breaks them down. We've got proper nouns, ism-e marfa, specific names, like Uli or say, Pakistan.
Specific entities.
Then common nouns, ism-e nakara, general ones like upoy or s-book.
Your everyday categories.
And of course, plural nouns, ism-e jama, more than one, like a, boys, isa, books.
Indicating quantity. Straightforward so far.
Yeah, pretty clear. Building on that, we have pronouns or zamir, words used instead of nouns.
Avoids repetition. Makes things flow.
Right. The examples are familiar too. Oyezi, also a owi, sees, and yu formal.
That formal U is important in Urdu.
Good point. And then the action words. The verb, or fail, shows what's happening, the action or state of being.
The dynamic part of the sentence.
And verbs in Urdu seem really clear about when something happens. Tense, we see past tense, faili mazi, like he's came, went.
Done and dusted.
Then present tense, faili hal, examples. Come. Happening now.
Right now, yeah.
And future tense, faili mustabir, like faili mustafa will come. This you will go. It's remarkably clear how the verb itself changes.
It really is. And seeing how these core parts, nouns, pronouns, verbs, interact, especially how verbs shift for tense and agreement, that's where the real structure comes alive.
Yeah, it's not just definitions, is it? It's how they work together.
Exactly. It's about the interplay.
Okay, so we've got our basic words. How do we add detail, make connections? This is where adjectives, adverbs, connectors come in.
Adding the color and the links, yes.
Let's talk adjective, sifat. The document says it describes the quality, good or bad, of a noun. Adds specifics.
Tells you more about the noun.
Examples like Inyesago, beautiful girl. And Kasiya, good person. Anna Sofio.
Descriptive words, straightforward.
Next, the adverb, zarf. These describe the verb, or even an adjective or another adverb, tells us how, when, where.
Modifying the action or description.
Like, Ayu. He ran quickly. The quickly tells us how he ran. Or, he comes daily. Daily tells us when.
Brings the action to life, adds context.
Definitely. And finally, for this bit, prepositions and conjunctions, grouped under harf.
Ah, the crucial little words.
Yeah, they show relationships or connect words and sentences. The linguistic glue, as you called it.
Exactly.
Examples. Heoli fami ana pakpiulayan. And connectors like yokoyu, but they seem small, but they carry so much structural weight. They provide context, flow.
We really do.
Yeah.
Without them, it'd just be a list of words.
Precisely. It's fascinating how much these often overlooked harf words actually do. They build the connections.
All right, so we've got letters, words, descriptions, connectors. Now, putting it all together, complete thoughts, sentences, the full picture, this is where it gets really interesting.
A sentence. Jumla. Defined simply. A group of words with a complete meaning. Makes sense.
The basic unit of communication.
And our source outlines 4 main types. First, declarative, jumla ikabri. Just a statement. Like, I don't, yeah, he went to school.
Simple statement of fact.
And then, interrogative, jumla istifham. A question. Oas. Did he go to school?
Asking for information.
We also have imperative, jumla am. That's a command. Go to school.
Telling someone what to do.
And finally, exclamatory, jumla itahari, an exclamation like, ah! What a beautiful scene, expressing strong feeling.
Covers the main communicative functions, yeah.
Okay, next up, something quite distinct, gender, or jins.
A key feature.
The document explains words in Urdu have gender, male, muzakkar, or female, monas. Example, a jinn boy is masculine, a day girl is feminine.
And this applies to lots of nouns, not just people, right?
Exactly. And it affects other words in the sentence, like verbs and adjectives.
Agreement is key.
Tied closely to that is number, adad, singular, wahid, or plural, jama.
One or many.
So, a staba book is singular, a selma books is plural. But here's where it gets interesting and maybe tricky for learners.
Well, the plural rule.
Yeah, the pluralization rules, usul kamanani jama ohid. The source emphasizes it's not one single rule, it varies.
Not just adding an isis like in English.
Right. So asa becomes asam, but ace tree stays in the plural, apparently.
Oh, interesting. Some nouns don't change form.
Yeah. And ace boy becomes asang, so it's quite variable.
That variability is fascinating. It often points to patterns learned through exposure, not just a simple rule you memorize. Shows the organic nature of language.
Definitely needs practice. And just to quickly loop back, tense, zamana, we touched on it with verbs.
Past, present, future.
Yeah. Essen, he came. Haste, he comes. Hesse will come. Vital for placing the action in time within the sentence.
Crucial context.
Okay, now for a really insightful bit. Word order. Alfaiz kitaratib.
Right, how you arrange the words.
Our source states the rule is asina plus api plus ati. That's verb plus object plus subject.
Verb first. Okay.
But the example provided is asi nekita parhi. Now, if we break that down, ali is the file, the subject.
Right.
Ekitav is the maful, the object.
Okay.
And athis is the file, the verb.
Right, so the example is subject, object, verb.
Exactly. So the stated rule, verb, object, subject, doesn't match the example, subject, object, verb.
Ah, you spotted a really important point. This happens a lot in linguistics, the difference between a formally stated rule and how the language is actually commonly used.
So the example is more typical.
Yes, subject, object, verb, SOV, is generally the much more common and natural word order for standard declarative sentences in Urdu. The stated VOS rule might refer to specific constructions or be an older grammatical formulation, perhaps.
That makes more sense.
It's a great reminder that language is alive, you know? How it's described formally isn't always exactly how it works on the ground.
Yeah.
It pushes us to look at function over just stated formulas.
Fascinating stuff. So there we have it. We've journeyed through Urdu grammar, from the alphabet, the sounds,
Hakuruf.
through the parts of speech, nouns, verbs, adjectives, all the way to sentence structure, gender, number, and even that interesting quirk about word order.
It really shows the underlying logic and, well, the beauty of the system.
Absolutely. And understanding these concepts, it's not just about rules, is it?
Not at all. It's about getting a deeper feel for how Urdu expresses ideas, how it builds meaning. That insight is valuable whether you're learning the language, just curious, or, like deciphering how communication works.
So for you listening, what does this mean? You wanted quick, solid knowledge, and now you've got a real grounding in Urdu grammar basics. It's a fantastic starting point.
A solid foundation, definitely.
And as we wrap up, here's a little something to maybe mull over.
A final thought.
Yeah. How might these unique structures we talked about, like the common subject-object-verb order or assigning gender to nouns, how might that subtly shape how Urdu speakers perceive things, how they organize reality?
That's a deep question. Grammar isn't just rules.
Exactly. It could be a lens, right? A lens through which a culture views the world. Something to think about.